As you can see, I'm charging my BTRs. Onto them, the infantry's dead, and supplies definitely seem to be a trouble for these guys because they're so far away from a reinforcement zone. They definitely need to be thinking ahead when they're coming to supplies, just because it takes so long to get them. The BTRs have advanced here. They've completely scared off the command vehicle. They're trying to desperately get in some tank destroyers and MBTs to deal with a single BTR. It isn't actually doing that much, but it's chasing them away. And it's definitely threatening. They're bringing up some Leopard 4s. So this shows the ability of a flanking force. Even if it can't actually do any damage, it can really panic the enemy. He's diverted 2 Leopard 4s, an MBT 70 and a tank destroyer just to deal with a BTR 60 and a Conqueror's team. As you can see, he's also panicking, having lots of defense and help symbols, even though it doesn't actually help him out, and Raleigh surrenders. Again, not sure exactly why. I've also got some of the Mi2 Europe key units, ATM and AA equipped helicopters. These should be fare quite well against both the Cobras and the MBT 70s. And I'm bringing more anti-tank infantry. Although these guys aren't doing much damage, they're scaring him a lot, forcing him to have a lot of forces on his flanks. As you can see, there's clearly a lot of pressure on Airgate to take Bravo. Roland 2s move up and take out my helicopter without much problem. He has also brought Paladin artillery right into Bravo, meaning that the attacks here are very deadly. If I had a command vehicle, it would have been dead a long time ago, but because I've got a command armor and have moved it out of where they think it is clearly going to help for us. Now, both Rolius and Koga have left the game, meaning that NATO is now down to just 2 players against us, meaning that they are going to be far less effective in this fight. However, they still have a significant 800 point advantage and clearly outpower us at this stage. All we have is a few T-64s, which aren't equipped with ATKMs, a few ATKM equipped infantry, and some regular Tunguskas, whose range isn't that impressive. Also, the BGRM that I moved up to put the recon unit has clearly spooked these mortar carriers. They're now firing at the area that they think it was, meaning that they're wasting a lot of shots and definitely taking the pressure off my guys. They're shooting at nothing because they were panicking about where a unit once was. Also, as we can see, they've also moved up command vehicles to command armor to Gulf and Echo, as well as Foxtrot, meaning that they are definitely getting the points advantage, meaning they'll be able to field even more units, as you can see, Leopard 2A1s, MBT 70s, Chaparrals, Martyrs with infantry in them, probably Panzer Grenadiers. The attack has now begun, but the BTRs with the Conquerors, and I believe now the Fago teams, because I ran out of Conquerors infantry, are now desperately holding back the enemy and are doing so quite effectively. I've spread them out so the artillery can't target them all at once, and the MBT 70s can't use their own ATKM to their advantage because of the infantry units, meaning that all they have is their gun, which isn't effective against the infantry. I've also brought in some Tunguskas just to scare off that recon helicopter so this artillery won't be as accurate. As you can see, they have a huge amount of units, Roland 2s, Bradleys, more Rolands, Flak Panzers, Paladins, more Flak Panzers and 2 MBTs. Again, this is quite a badly balanced force. It's got a lot of AA units, even though we've stopped really fielding AA units. And now the T-64s are coming into range. All there is left for them is the MBTs. As you can see now, they are bringing in another swarm of Cobras, now up to around 9 of them. And this is definitely very concerning for us. As you can see, and they're now reinforcing all their units. The ones they had brought back to this line to deal with my flanking units are now coming back to the front line. However, the damage has been done. The Fagos and the T-64s have managed to cripple their forces, as without the MPT 70s they have no real means of defending themselves. and are definitely on the back foot. As you can see, I'm reinforcing with Conkers because the Conker missile is a more effective missile than the Fago. However, because it's not infantry, it will be subject to ATKM return fire. And now the swarm of Cobras is approaching, hoping to once and all just overpower us with the advantage they've gained in the early part of the game, and it'll have to because of the moment, because of all the units we destroyed here. Pact has now moved up to a 100 points advantage in this game, meaning that this rush is going to have to do a lot of damage. Their large attacks have been costing them dear, and they haven't managed to take Bravo. This is because Bravo is a reinforcement zone, whereas their reinforcement zone is all the way across the map, meaning that I can bring in units specific to what the battle requires instantly, whereas they have to wait as much as 5 minutes to get their units fielded. As you can see, they're being reinforced. However, because these are reinforced back when they had units here, they're driving right into my ATGMs without even thinking about it. This is clearly important. And I'm also taking another flanking route, this time again using the VDV infantry. I know that they've captured all of these command points, but because as I've fielded so few units here, I don't think they're going to take this as a very serious risk. As you can see, this is now a very worrying swarm of Cobras, and we are going to be hard pressed to defend. But however, seeing them, I have managed to bring the Buck M1 into firing range. This is a very powerful AA equipped unit, as long as it can be resupplied, as it only has 4 missiles. As you can see, the Cobras are coming in, the MBTs are coming in, the Fagos are firing, Tunguskas are doing their thing, but the VDV have managed to get right into the command vehicle and will be easily pick that up. They're now rushing pretty much everything they have at us as a desperate attempt to overrun it. However, the Tunguskas are firing, the Buck M1 will be firing soon. We're definitely not very panicking as one Tunguskas gets fallen, because this is a huge swarm of helicopters. However, because it gets advancing, just for the sake of it, the T-813s are firing at them. The Fago and Conkers teams will be able to fire at them. Now the Buck has come into range. Hopefully these AA equipped infantry will also leave. Pact is now very close. This is a 7,000 point game. We only need 1,000 more points to win this. And the Cobras will definitely provide a lot of those points. The Buck M1 has incredible range and will be able to just snipe these Cobras one by one. He's now bringing in Apaches to try and reinforce this. As you can see, my attack on the command armor has been halted because of the fact that I'm just concerned about this huge attack of units. The Buck M1s are now being resupplied by the T-813, which is in turn being resupplied by the FOB Acana supplies, leading to the certain death of Cobras. Now the T-64s are coming into range, knocking out the Rolands. The Fago teams are firing. Basically, this is a case where the overwhelming power is being countered by clever tactics. Despite his power, he has been unable to take Bravo, despite clearly outnumbering us. And now his mighty Cobra force has been reduced to ashes. The Fago teams are now clearing up the remains of the force. As you can see, a lot of his forces are out running low on fuel, they're running low on ammo, they're badly damaged. His Roland 2s are unable to fire, which meant that if we had any helicopters we could just send them in. The T-64s are preparing a flanking route. Fagos are now being rearmed and resupplied. I'm buying more Conkers. We're now very close to the end. We only need about 200 or so points, and a nice command armor would do very nice. Here come the Cobras in. However, at this stage, his forces have been almost defeated. The Apaches are coming in, but at this kind of range, they're not going to do much. Only a few more points needed, and this will be provided by the very fact that a simple infantry unit will be taking a command vehicle. Just like that. The game ends. A minor victory for the Pact. And for me, I did actually come up as a loss overall. I only killed 2,300 points to 2,617, but despite that overwhelming force that you saw, I did manage to hold on to Bravo, and they took a lot of units to attack Bravo, but I managed to defend it, therefore showing the advantage of tactics and clever positioning and the benefits of a close reinforcement zone to overwhelming power that's not directed intelligently.